Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to begin our look at Mr. Brownstone by Guns N' Roses. A lot of fun riffs to play in this one. Take care of all the riffs in this one, and then in the next lesson we'll take a look at Slash's solo. Alright, so we're tuned down a half step as per protocol for Guns N' Roses. So E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. Just throw it in that tuning and you can follow along. And with the original recording as well. So let's start here. Now this intro starts with a lot of muted guitar stuff. So you're just basically going to mute your strings with your left hand. Alright, and then we're going to come in with a slide that starts at the 12th fret all the way to the open string and then back up. So you're kind of picking like eighth notes, really, just nothing that fast. All right, and now there's obviously two different guitar players here. We have Izzy Stradlin and Slash. So we're going to be playing, really learning two parts here. One of them's a little bit looser, and the Izzy Stradlin part. They're both very similar and have different endings, though. So now the riff, the main riff is. Now, Slash picks a lot of that, and Izzy does a lot of just hammer-ons with it. So let's learn Slash's version. I think it's more pronounced on the recording. So we have basically open string, low E string, hammer 3 to 4, and then pull off 2 to 0 on the A. Then you get a pick 0, 3, 4, kind of palm muted on the low E string to the low E power chord. So we have this. Then you get a palm mute again, 3 to 4 on the low E string, over to the A power chord. Really kind of tight sounding. So we have this. A little slower. Alright, so Slash ends that riff with power chords. So that's power chord at the 5th fret on the A, then 4, then 2, then 3rd fret there, low E string, slide bend, and then the low E power chord. He kills it really quick and then hits the top 2 strings with an upstroke. Alright. Alright, so you just repeat that. Now, Izzy Stradlin does a little bit, kind of just hammering on these notes. Hammer on, power chord, then hammer on to the A power chord at the end. So it's the same notes, just he's just kind of hammer on whenever he can. And then we have. Now he ends it with that lick, which is a pull off from 3 to 2 to 0 on the B string to the 3rd fret there on the G string. Hold that, the 2nd fret there. Slightly hold that one, then pull off. So pull off to the G, then 2 to 0, pulling off on the D, and then 2 to 0 on the A. On the 3rd fret. And then just the low power chord. And then Slash, you'll hear do that upstroke right after that. So that's both kind of put together. So it's fun if you just have one guitar player, you can just kind of just, and then kind of mix Slash's and Izzy's guitar part while the bass player just kind of plays those chords, so you get to have all the fun. Just let them stay with the boring stuff. So that's the main riff of the song. So that's the main riff that starts the song, and that whole intro, all the effects that kind of going on there. All right, from there they play pretty similar stuff. Now we have the verse, which sounds like this. All right, so this they're both kind of doing this riff. It's just a really funky riff. They do a lot. So we have 7, 5, 7 on the A string. Then it's 7 to 5 on the D, back to 7 on the A, then hammer 5 to 7 on the D. So that first measure, just kind of keep that kind of a funky feel about it, and there's a lot of like muted strings in between those notes. All right, and then we have, so that's just 7, 5, 5 on the D, and then a quick 5 to 4, 7 on the A. All right, now start again just like you did the first measure. And the fourth measure, so that's just that, instead of, it goes, when those notes are 8 on the B, 6 on the G, to 5 on the B. So it goes back to that main riff again, then goes back to that same verse riff. Yeah, you kind of do the same thing, and then you're going to see the chorus come up, and the chorus sounds like this. Alright, so that's kind of a cool one. So you kind of have a lot of that kind of funky stuff too at the end of the chorus, like the verse is played. But the big opening of the chorus is just this G chord, kind of more power chord based, but you can get the B note in there to make it a G major chord. So just power chord really at the 3rd fret, then the 1st, and then back to the 3rd. And then the same thing off the A string. Then 7, 5, 5, 3, 5. Now, like I said, if you get that major note, it doesn't sound that bad, so it is. And then, so that's 5 on the A, 2, 3, 4 on the low E. Then hammer 5, 7 on both the A, low E and the A. So this. And that kind of leads us to that funky part. Now this first measure is this. So we have this kind of mess around this 7 on the A string again. Then 7 on the low E, hammer 5 to 7 on the A. Then hammer on that. So the second measure, it's kind of the same thing, except you add on the 3rd beat there, a little slight bend at the 5th fret on the D string. So that sounds like this. So the first 2 measures, they're kind of the thing that kind of exits the chorus. All right, now we'll do this again. Now that is just a little slight bend on the 3rd beat there, or the 7th fret this time on the D, to that 5th fret on the D. And that same ending. So we have this. All together, the first 3 measures. And then we're going to end it. So that's just 7, 5, 4, 2, and then a quick little 16th note burst. 3rd on the low E, open A string, 3rd on the low E again, open E. Really palm muted. All right, and then we get to the bridge of the song, which sounds like this. Alright, so that's really repetitive and got a lot of funky playing in it too. So we're at power chord at the 7th fret of the low E string, and then to the 5th, and then back to 7th. Some muted strings in there. You got to really feel this, keep the momentum going in the picking end. And then it's 5, 6 on the A string, and then come and grab that power chord again. So this. And then the same thing, 2 frets lower. Repeat. Then we have this 5, 3, 5 that ends that bridge, and then it takes us to the chorus. All right. So other than that, the only really different rhythm parts are going to be that outro, which is a lot of fun to play. So let me play that real quick, and we'll take a look at it. Here we go. Alright, so similar to the main riff of the song, but this one's all picked here at the beginning. So we're just going to play 0, 3, 4, then on the low E, then 2, 0 on the A, and then 0, 3, 4 on the low E again. So we have this. So that's the actual riff. He's going to repeat that a few times. And you're going to palm mute that and just straight alternate picking. And repeat. So after 3 times, then you hit the low E, pause, 3, 4 to that power chord. So real slow. Alright, now we get to those little pull-off licks, which are kind of, you're doing the half of the Izzy's lick. We just have 3, 2, 0 again. Hold on that A note, which is the 2nd fret on the G. Pull off to the open G, then pull 2 to 0 on the D. So you're going to repeat that a few times. And then you continue down with the full lick on the 3rd time. So slowly. Start over. And then all the way down. Alright, so stay tuned for the next lesson. We'll take a look at the solo for Mr. Brownstone. I'll see you then.